Hi, I'm Koen. I'm the Managing Director of Portapivot. I'll be showing you an unboxing video of Stealthpivot NL today. It's a cardboard box containing our hinge system and accessories. So this one is fitted with the optional accessory set, which contains a magnet system and the installation tool. This is the installation tool, which you'll need to position the drill holes onto the floor, and you will also need these cutouts during installation of the door to be able to position the pivot mount. A detailed instructions guide showing you the standard set, the optional magnet system and the installation tool, which you can see here. Everything is explained in a step-by-step guide, going from how to integrate the hinge up to the full installation guidelines, showing you everything you need here. So the hinge set itself, our compact pivot hinge system, can be fitted inside any type of door. The hinge is identical top and bottom, which gives you installation and integration freedom. The hinge can be positioned wherever you want inside the door leaf. You only have to respect guidelines, which are clearly explained in the manual, and you can find those on the website in the technical details. So besides the pivot hinge, you will find the optional magnet set, which is included in this set, as explained earlier. You will find the screws and plugs, which you will need to integrate and install the pivot hinge system. I'll put the box aside. I'll show you step by step what's included. So this is a little standard bag, which includes all these items, which are shown here. So it goes from standard fissure plugs, which you can use for a variety of construction types. We include screws for the floor and ceiling fixation, which just require a 45mm depth hole inside the floor. So it's, even with underfloor heating, it shouldn't be an issue to install our hinge system. So those are standard. We also supply drill bits, which you will need. So if you're in a country which doesn't use the same systems as we do, everything is supplied, so you can attach it to your own drill. These are also included. That's if you're gonna be installing our hinge system into a plain door. So if you want to install it into a wooden door, we supply screws which you can use to screw it into a wooden door. These are used when you are installing it into a metal frame, a steel structure, whatever you want. And these are also supplied for use with our own door systems. So we have door systems which you can order online using a 3D configurator, and those are made from anodized aluminium, and we supply screws to insert the hinges into those parts. These are used to, so you can turn this. These are used to position the hinge on the floor. So I'll show you inside the manual. So these have indications on the sides, and if you, the hole is not in the center, so if you turn it around, it will make the pivot mount move like this, and that's how you can adapt the 0 degree position of the hinge when it's sitting on the floor. So for instance, if you haven't drilled your holes exactly as they should have been, then you can realign using these parts, so you can search for the ideal 0-degree centering of the hinge. These are supplied so you can height adjust the hinge during integration. It's explained somewhere in here, right? So you can use these as shims during installation of the hinge to adapt the height inside your door. You can also use these, that's step 3. So these holes inside the hinge, these holes can be used if you're using a metal structure, for instance. You can use those as height levelers to adjust the hinge inside the door panel. So that's all these little things are supplied. So everything you need from A to Z during installation and integration of the hinge in like 95% of use cases is supplied as standard. So we'll leave this one here. So next I'll be showing you the pivot mount covers. These can also contain the shims. So back one page. So step 2 here, the optional shims are also included. So they come in different thicknesses. So when you're installing the door and you have a gap because the ceiling isn't straight or the floor isn't straight, then you can use these to install the door in a correct fashion. So there's a 3, a 1 and I think a 2 millimeter included, 2 times, so for the top and the bottom. So there's a lot of possibilities to adjust height differences when the floor or ceiling isn't perfectly aligned. So these caps, they go on top of the pivot mount and they hide everything. So they click into place and they are 3D printed. It's a really cool part. It's structured, so it's really high wear and tear resistant, and it can be painted. So if you want to have these top covers on the ceiling painted in the same color as the ceiling, then you can just use a spray can to paint those to your liking. And afterwards you can just slide them on when the door is installed, and then all the mounting screws and all this hardware is completely invisible. So there's a set for the top and a set for the bottom. So this down here, and those are the supplied shims. So next I'll explain you a final thing. So our hinge isn't created like other pivot hinge systems. So our hinge doesn't feature a hydraulic system inside. It's made with a gas spring. So as you can see here, the standard hinge is fitted with a 480 Newton gas spring. So there's a spring inside each one of the hinge sets. And we have an optional 750 Newton gas spring, which can be used in really specific situations. In all honesty, 99% of use cases can just be fitted with the standard damper, which is included as standard. So this is always fitted inside the hinge body. And if necessary, you can just unscrew this and then you can take the damper out and exchange it with either a new 480 Newton damper in many years to come, or you can switch it out for a 750 Newton damper in very specific use cases. So these are standard fitted. Finally, this set box was fully loaded. So this is an optional magnet system, which is explained down here. So this also shows you can insert it into a wooden door, metal door, up to really large door. This one, of course, isn't fitted. These ones aren't fitted with this small one. These are fitted with the XL version, which I'll show you in a separate video. So Recently we upgraded the screws which come with the magnet set to black. So if you fit it to the ceiling, then you can use all black hardware. The screws to attach the second magnet to your door are included in the standard set box, and those are the silver screws which you'll be using. So this is a one-way piece which you will be using if you want to stop and block the door from opening in both directions. Then this will stop, and which is explained here. So always beware, because these have 7.5 kilograms of pulling power. So there's a north and south magnet and they want to go against each other. So if you want a two-way door, you put this against the ceiling with the black screws, you put this on top of the door with the silver screws, and then you have a 0-degree extra additional aligning principle. So this way you really reduce the risk of interventions in the future. So if something goes wrong with the hinge, or a screw in the floor or the ceiling becomes a little bit loose, then this will perfectly keep the doors aligned in years to come, and thus reducing the risk of after-sales service due to the door not positioning correctly anymore. This reduces the risk. That's optional, as is the mounting tool. So these two can be ordered as an optional item when you are ordering our hinge set online. So I hope this gives some insight in what we deliver when you order a Stealthpivot hinge set. If you have any more questions, you can contact Nele for the sales side, and you can contact me directly for the technical side. You can find both our email addresses online on the website, and we'll be happy to hear any type of feedback from you. Thank you.